So, good morning, Vassal. The position is black to play. Try and solve, Vassal. So, did you solve it, Vassal? Anybody there? Okay, good morning, all. But you write now the answer. My today's topic is I want to give few sessions for night and pawn endgame. So, are you all ready? So, good morning, everybody. On behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State session, I welcome you to this intermediate session. So this is Trainer Sekhar Sahu. Sabko mera namaskar. Welcome. Now I will discuss some knight and pawn ending concept. Maybe tomorrow also I will discuss same thing, and I will discuss some classic games also possible along with some opening variations. In the given position, white has an extra piece, so there is chance that white can win the game. But you need to find the correct method. So I give you 2 minutes time because all have not come yet. Yes. Now, Black can win the game. I want to watch the pawn. So the knight belongs here. So I want to watch the pawn. So the correct move is knight. Not this move. Not this move. After this move, he can play king. And now there is no problem for white. So this move. Now the point is he cannot come because of knight check. And if you take this, I will come queen square. This is the point of the knight sacrifice. The whole point is that you need to, there are these are special features in knight ending. The last square, the queening square, you need to control. So this is a good way. In the game, he played king c1. It's a draw. It's a draw now because after the push and now queen, he will queen and no more win because it is not easy to coordinate. It's draw. But after the knight move, he could have won the game. Okay, this is a very simple concept that white can give checkmate to the black king. Normally, one knight, even two knights, not enough to win. But in a set position where there is a rook pawn, there is a possibility to give checkmate with knight. So in this is such position, the black king is cornered and white king is active. I mean, it is very aggressive and this is cornered. So the mate is possible. You have to only run out of black moves, black pawn moves. Only move. Now, if you play king, it is not good because you will push the pawn draw. So if you play king, it is a mistake. Black will push the pawn. So make a move, check. And now control the running square. You want flight square. You want to run away. Control king. Now you cannot push the pawn. It is a checkmate. Only move. Now knight. Control. Force the pawn to move. That brings a checkmate. So this is a systematic method of winning against a corner king with a rook pawn. The knight wins. Normally, okay, this particular position, white to play and win. I give you 2 minutes time. It doesn't require more than 2 minutes. You have an extra piece, should win the game. Try. What is happening here? You have to write some move. How does white win? Black is threatening. Pushing the pawn is bad. If you push the pawn, then there is a danger that you I attack, you come, he will attack. Once again the threat, and it's a draw. So how does white win the game? How does white win? Find out. No answer yet. I hope somebody has found the answer. Vassal knight e5. It is not correct. Vassal knight b6. Vassal, you have played knight e5 is not correct. He will attack the knight. The knight is safer here. The knight, now you attack or you attack the pawn. I come. Now he has to come and attack the knight. Or so in the meanwhile the king will come. King pawn end. I will convert the game into a king pawn end. So the king. Now you attack king. You attack king. You have come here and now it is win. Winning the game. So that is why you need to always think to liquidate king pawn endgame, many endgames. So this is, and now notice this is bad because after this you attack and you come, he will attack. He will attack. Or of course you can come here, not push the pawn. It is you need not push. You can still come and win it. So you need to come either way, this way also this way. White wins the game. Okay, next. White to play win. I give 3 minutes time. White to play and win. The winning plan method is very important here. It's not like a puzzle. In the end game, the method is important, not finding one move. What have you answered? Any answer? They were KB4 and we won KB4. No, my friends, KB4 is a mistake. You win the pawn, but you don't win the game. KB4 is a mistake because he will come and when you take it, it's a stalemate. So the winning method is you give this pawn and mate with the knight. Not king b4, king d3. So now you will play maybe here king a1. Now you play king d2 or maybe here knight. You release. You want to give the pawn, you will give. And if you take the pawn, we know how to mate. We know already we discussed king and pawn, then king, knight here. You can't put the pawn mate here and then you come knight. You come here, knight. And you now push the pawn, checkmate. So this is the method that white must force black to take the pawn. Now he comes. If he takes the pawn, he loses. So he will refuse to take. So I will force him to take. I'll force him. And now I will. The process is clear. After king a1, knight c5 is the method. So the next one, alright. White to play and win. Time given 3 minutes. I want to clear a basic concept of knight. King pawn ending, you know, I have done a lot of basic king pawn endgame, practical endgame. So today I will come do a lot of knight and pawn basics, also some practical endgame. This position occurred in the game, one of the game where neither shot was white. So white to play and win. Because of the pawn, the knight is tied down. But still he will win the game. Think. What have you found? What have you found here? Uh, reverse last diagram KB4 not correct. King coming and giving. Okay, next. What should white do? So simple, you play king. Now if he goes here, you will play this opposition. Opposition. Now the method is the pawn must advance with a check. Then only you can win. You have to gain a tempo. Playing this is a draw. So you wait. This is draw. But this is winning. Now king. And now release the knight. The pawn must go with a check, I told you. Check. Wait. It is a question of one tempo. So get this. Check. It is important to know the pawn must go with a check. Okay, I go to next one. White to play win. Time given 4 minutes. This is a little bit difficult. So find out how white should win. Any answer? Suvankar Sarkar King D3. Then somebody has written Vivan Vasalsa. No. King D3 has been written. No, king is already D3. White to play and win. I hope you have found why you are taking so much time to write, because this is not so difficult. No, no answer yet. The point is you need to see black is threatening to play this and then come and take the pawn. Okay, so this is necessary. It is not a good idea to play here. Then he will attack the pawn from here, s3. So you need to push the pawn. Support. Now the squares are controlled. The pawn is controlling. The knight is controlling. So it is you get time. He will now white will gain some time. If you go here, it is too bad because knight will come and the king will enter. So he stops. Now the method is that white will sacrifice the knight and reach a king pawn endgame. This is a common method in many knight and pawn endings. You go for convert the game to winning king pawn endgame. But where should I give the knight? You should give the knight at this point, because you should give the knight at this point, so that the king will far away and the king will have time to approach the pawn. This is the point. So now knight. I want to reach this square. So the knight should come like this, this, and this. Knight. As per the plan, sacrifice the knight. Now it is very important, not only finding plan, you need to execute correctly. Now this is the correct square and this is wrong square. Suppose you go king, now you want to approach the pawn. So this is a bad move. Draw. King will come. King. And now opposition. Now the king will straight go. Draw. So the winning method is don't allow the king obstruct the king. I want the pawn, but why allow the king? So what's the square? Enter. Now the king is far away, winning the game easily. He is once one move behind, and now this is sailed through. So we learn two things. That number one, we plan to sacrifice the knight, then only win. Then we plan to sacrifice the knight, and now the plan is to sacrifice. And after we bring the plan, we need to play the correct way to approach, obstruct the king, soldering. You need to restrict the king and approach the pawn. Mechanical king f4 would have been draw. King f3 and king j4 wins. Next. Basically, in endgame, there are two types of endgames. Basic endgame. On practical endgame, all boils to basic endgame. Basic endgames and special endgames. What we call special endgame, it is not technical and neither tactical. It is tricky. You have to find only moves. So it is now the last pawn will be exchanged. Last pawn will exchange. But it is a win because the special endgame, the king will be mated. So knight you have to take. And now the king has no move, only pawn. Now king has no move, only pawn. Checkmate. So there are special endgames where technique is not the thing, but study. Either mating or repetition by force or stalemate, under promotion. These are called special features in endgame. So in this position, it is a force mate. Okay, I come. Now you don't have to take it. You come here, I win the technical. If you come, I win the game. You pawn here, and now knight is coming and winning. You come here, I come. Force the pawn, and now technically win. So either you lose technically or get better. I think this needs only 30 seconds. I give you 1 minute. 1 minute. White to play and win. Write your answer. Yeah. Vivan Visalsa is correct. Knight Mars must take and push wins. Because Rook 1. Please note the knight is a bad defender against a fast Rook 1. The king is far away, but Rook 1 has an advantage against a corner, I mean knight. So knight has no maneuvering room. Lost. White to play and win. How does white win? Very simple concept. If you push the pawn, it's a draw, knight will take it. So you need to dislodge the knight. And this knight should come here. Then only you can dislodge the knight. So knight, knight. Okay, you can attack the knight. No, I'm sorry. I showed you the wrong path. The knight should come here. Not this. Not this. Knight, knight. Now you can exchange king pawn and so only move. Now he pushed up. Suddenly the knight is restricted. All is guarded. The pawn is sailing. It is bad to play this. This is immediate draw. Right here, pawn push, knight check draw. So restrict. Now I will bring the king. Hurry up. Push the pawn. Now king. It is winning because after the natural knight move, check, and then the knight cannot coordinate. The simple threat is now pawn check, knight check. Check, winning. There is a mate at two different places. He can only cover one. He can go, but the knight d7 mate. So, because white is winning because the king is far away. The king is far away from the pawn, the queening area, and this gives us time and force. Again, the correct move, pushing the pawn draw. Again, that restricts the knight, and now the pawn is going to sixth rank at least. Restrict, check, and winning that. This also is winning. It is looking difficult because the black defender king is closer, the knight is closer, and but it is winning because the tricky maneuver king. The point is king into knight does not work. A king will come. The king can knight cannot check. Now the knight cannot check the king, and this is just going through. Cannot stop. Knight coming here also not used. So king cannot take. So these are special features you need to notice. So he will come. No knight check. You cannot take that king into knight also here. King into knight. I think king comes here and then the pawn is going running away. The knight check will not help the king. Knight check will not help. So you cannot take the knight yet, king. You can take knight into knight, but pawn quits. You cannot play king into knight. The knight is lost, and he gives check. But then now he is running into Zugzwang. No check and pawn push is going. A7 lost, and now king. Only move knight, but then Zugzwang. Zugzwang cannot take the knight. Cannot move the king. Cannot move the knight. Lost. I mean, actually, you do not have to remember the moves, the method, the motive. So that is important. You know how this is winning. You can find all the moves on the board by maneuvering yourself. Why to play? This is also winning. Please find out the plan. Find out the plan. The winning method. Notice that this position, suppose it is in center pawn. I mean, it is in corner. So black has maneuvering room is very little. But if it is in center, this could have been a draw. But now, because of the corner, the black runs out of maneuvering room. So he loses. Now you cannot take the knight, only move. So you need to now move the king. Threatening to queen, the only move knight to c6. Now the idea is that I want to attack the knight like this, like this, and then this. This is the point. I want to attack the knight. Once I come here, I will win that. So, and I attack. You cannot take the knight. So, only move. But then Zugzwang, I give a check. You cannot protect because the c8 square is guarded. You cannot protect and knight is lost. The king pawn ending is lost. You come here, I take. Take, I win. The same diagram, suppose we shift to two flanks to right, it's a draw. So, there is no maneuvering room, so he loses the game. This is also a win, but little bit tricky. Why it should win? That again because it's a rook pawn. The defender का problem बढ़ जाता है. Defender knight का problem when rook pass pawn is there. Because of the past rook pawn on 7th, the defender has mobility is less. If it is in the center, it will draw, but now it is lost. Now the point is, now if you take it, it's a draw. The common phenomena, जो नाइट जो कलर में है वही कलर में चले जाओ, ड्रॉ ड्रॉ. Knight can never gain a tempo. You come here, it's a draw. You come here, it's a draw. I will not leave the squares. Draw. इसलिए नहीं लेना है. Now the point is you come. If you take the knight, you are far away from the squares. Winning easily. So, a waiting move. In end game, it is important many times, especially in night ending, especially majority times. But there are some other endings also. Quiet waiting moves are important. That brings a zugzwang. It is a zugzwang now. Now, if you attack, now he attacks. No ego. Attacking the knight is bad because king into and he is firing. I told you. So only me. Now, if you take the knight, it's a draw because the king is in white square. A knight. If you take it, he will go to the square. Take, he will go to the white square. Draw, draw. So we need to wait. Now zugzwang will come. Zugzwang. Neither you can go knight, nor you can move the king. The knight is lost. It's a zugzwang. Anybody had written the answer? Okay, Vivan has written the right answer. Vivan's answer is convincing. Okay. The position black has more maneuvering room, but there is a problem. That black king is far away. This is the problem. So the winning method is very interesting. That white sacrifices the knight at right time, at right place to advance the pawn. So he comes naturally king, and now king. Zugzwang. A check. You have to take no choice. Now push the pawn. And now his knight is helpless. He cannot give check or anything. He will go do one square, one move. He will go. So he will play like this, hoping to queen. Then there is a fork on the square. But after the move, I play simply king. No check position, and nothing can stop. You need to be very careful. You know, this position is very strange. Special endgame. This is special end. Why to play win? Please find out. I told you the difference. Technical endgame and special endgame. Technical is basic endgame. We know extra pawn wins. We know this is the maneuvering. But special endgame is stalemate, checkmate, and also repetition like that, forcing. So this is a special endgame. Yeah. Okay. How many have found? Written anything? Vivan के any 6 KD6 and knight F8. वो तो last diagram था. Nobody has written this time. The correct move is pawn push. So he has to hurry up. I mean, the knight must hurry up to stop the pawn. So the check has to come. No other way. If you play knight here, simply pawn pushes winning. So only move check, and then you have idea that you want to give a check and next pawn check, and then I will stop the stop the watch the square. Knight wants to go here quickly. If you push the pawn, a check will come. So push now king. So he has to come here. Now knight check. The point is, this is the diagram he was looking for. The king has only one square, and that brings a knight fork. Fork. Winning. So technically, it was draw because of the bad king situation. Imagine at this point, imagine the pawn was not there. It's a draw. If you remove the pawn, and then king will come to h5. So these are special features, forcing moves, going to all bad square and forcing check and winning the game. I think you have to what I have now observed. You are not doing good and knight and pawn endgame. King pawn endgame, your response was good, but knight and pawn endgame, nobody is giving answer. It is not difficult, by the way. By the way, it is not difficult. King pawn endgame, knight pawn ending, almost similar, but you need to certain features. You know to knight maneuvering, the winning square, the fork, and creating a zigzag, and also triangulation, passing the move. This position white has to play. So white has an advantage. White has an advantage pass pawn, but black pawn also is advanced. So push. Taking the pawn is bad. You take the pawn, it is not good here. It is not good because in this case he can easily stop. The knight will come and stop. So white wants the range of the knight far away. The pawn is now far away range from knight. Only move. Now only move. Now this is a special endgame. Basically, it is not a technical endgame. Technically, black is winning. Looks like, but special endgame. What is so special about it? Okay, let me tell you. The special feature is the knight should come to this. Then the king should be here. The king here and the knight here and mate. That is the final time. That's the and it comes almost by force. Look here, I pushed up on. Now you come. Okay, other moves are not good. I pushed up on. Again you come. So I pushed up on. The secret now check and you will control. Agreed. He has controlled, but knight into pawn at tempo. The only move knight, or you will lose the game. Knight into knight, pawn queen. Only move, but that brings a mate. So these are special features. The special features you need to notice. Okay. So this is the advantage. Normally, pawn takes pawn is no, you will not get all these things. Pawn takes pawn, you will not get anything here. Knight here, pawn push. This is enough. You don't have any tempo, and once the pawn moves, there is no mating there. So this is almost all forced. So I need the king at b7 and knight. It comes by force sequence. Now you attack the pawn. He is running away. Just push and win. So this is the only way you can give a check and stop. Check and stop. But it is unfortunately a tempo is coming. You win the knight or mate. You take the knight, queen is coming. And you save the knight, mate is coming. So please note the special features. These are special endgames, not technical. This is a technical. This position is a pure technical. I give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes time. Hope you have found. Give you 1 more minute still there. winning plan. So nobody has written this answer. Nobody. Why there is so nobody is writing the answer? Why? Okay. No, it's not a draw. It's a win. It is a win. This is the winning plan. I told you. This is the winning plan. That I bring the knight to this square. F6 by maneuvering. Forced and now. The king has no move. He has to capture the and then winning the game. Well, I will not take much of your time. This position, white is winning. It is not a technical position. It is a special ending. That tactics after the technique. Now there is a threat. Black is threatening the knight. So you take the pawn, he will take, and you queen, he will queen. It will draw. So white is winning not by normal moves. You give the knight check. The idea that you have to now take the, otherwise I am going to take the important pawn. So only move. But then I push. Not taking the pawn. I need the queen at e8 to have a coordination. Queen, queen. But this is winning endgame. Check. Now there is a mate threat. Now there is a mate threat, and unfortunately the queen cannot protect only from one square. The queen has to come. This is the reasonable square. Queen coming to f1 or d3. So he plays d3 because queen f1 will have no. You cannot give the checks. So here he has access to the square. Now the queen is lost. Very strange. Maneuvering, please note. Check. Now check. You have to come only to king to b5. No other square. Then check and winning the queen. So these endings basically, it is not technical, but it gives you an idea that you can also work out hopeless looking positions which is not working, but tactics and typical features you win the game. I guess you need to work a lot on knight and pawn endgame. You are not responding. With king pawn ending, other ending, your rhymes, your answers very quick. But you are not giving quick answer here. So now is a critical moment. What to do? Normally, a player like to take a tempo, but this is bad. It will draw. If you play this, this will draw. So, for example, this is the winning, move, the correct move. Now, if you play here, no. If you play here, it's a draw because knight into pawn, and now you pawn push, you will king here, and now it's no more win. King cannot go, the knight cannot move. Zugzwang. It's a zugzwang. If you move the king, he will attack the knight and take the pawn. So the correct move is here king. Now same diagram, it was actually now white to play. Now it is black to play. Zhuang, the only move. And now sacrifice the knight. If black moves the knight to f5 and then pawn push and winning because the knight and the pawn controlling the squares. So it is lost. Pawn push wins. So you have to take the knight, but then double threat. I want to queen, I want to queen. You cannot stop both. Lost. So this is a very tricky move, but it gives you a lesson that after the move you go here it is winning and you go to the wrong square it's a draw. Because now it is white to play. I want the position, it is after the I want the position black to play. So losing a move, a creeping move. So king d4, take, and now we get black to play. Black loses the game. Zugzwang. Any answer here? Yeah. Yes. Correct answer. Correct answer. King d4, correct answer. Meher Chaudhary. Well done, Meher. This is a special endgame. It is not a technical by nature. Technically, it looks like a draw because the king is closer, knight is already watching this, and the pawns are in danger. So it looks like a draw. But because of the special feature of the end game, white is winning the game. I give you time to think. What is the winning plan? I hope you have found the answer. It is a checkmate. This is a checkmate, but it is not forced. Technically, black will play. Now you have to save them. Now you need to come. Because knight to coming to g5, then you cannot win the pawns. So knight comes check. You need to take attack. The knight is trapped. The knight cannot go to these squares, and if he goes to this point, there is a mate. This is the point. Anybody has written the answer? Please let me see. Anybody has written the answer? Oh, 94. I don't think so. I don't think Kushal says 94. Not correct. So this is important that you attack the knight, forcing the knight to go. Then you come, he is coming, attacking the pawn. Then forcing the king to take the pawn. If you go king here, it is lost. If you go, I will just attack, pawn push and winning easily to take. Now the knight is out of area. Only move, only available square, but then that is a mate. This is a very interesting. I hope you get a concept of special endings. White to play. The point is, it is very tricky. You have to cope up with the pawn, then you can win. Draw is very easy, of course, but now I push the pawn. Idea, then the pawn comes here, two attacks, queen and here both. So he comes. You cannot take it because if you take and try to queen, this will a square will come. A check is coming. So you have to come only move. So attack the pawn. Knight. Now you are only move. Knight cannot move. The only move king. This is the point. I come now to stop the pawn. Because as long as there is a threat, king cannot move. As long as the knight is under attack, the king cannot move. You cannot go. Knight check will come. So the only move knight has to move. Now threatening knight pawn check, only move knight into g7, only move. That brings the rook pawn. The knight is a bad defender against rook pawn and winning the game. Okay. Next. Already I have done this. So here the point is I found out today that you are not doing good against this knight and pawn endgame. So I will give some more focus in knight and pawn and basic knight and pawn endgame. Alright, now I will discuss some interesting, some classical games from old grandmasters. It is important that we should know the method of playing, the typical moves, bad moves in opening, good moves in opening. Now, given a position, this is white is Vorono, black is Grigori Axamo, a great talent. He died in a car accident. Great player, very strong grandmaster. Okay, Sozin attack. Now, this is the Velimirovic plan. Bishop b3, not this is not Velimirovic. Knight c6 that Velimirovic comes. So here there are plans with f4. You know, then you play b5. Sorry, you play b5, bb3, and these are with the idea some queen comes. The plan is queen coming and trying to castle along. So these are the ideas are there. Now here in this position, he plays queen e2, which is not a bad move because he is preparing to castle long, so one step forward. So there is nothing wrong with this, I would say. Now, what he should do? He should play bishop to e3 and long castle, or bishop to g5 also is possible. But waste of time, a bad move. These are bad moves. Opening, we need to know that we cannot waste even one tempo, unnecessary pawn moves. The duty is to just develop castle and coordinate your pieces quickly. Control the center. That's it. So how this move helps you to develop the pieces? If the bishop is at f1, I would understand the bishop will come to g2 and do some damage. I can push the pawn bg2, but bishop has already made two moves here. So white is behind in development, unnecessary pawn moves. Okay, now Grandmaster Axamo punished b4. What else? Because if you play, then pawn into is coming, and this is center is very bad. So play knight f. No other good square. Center is blown. Now is this is the threat is giving. So a3 h6 is a passive approach. It's a passive approach. So aggressive approach. You play g5, I take your pawn. And if you take the pawn, the center is no more there. There is no more central control of white. So it is just back. So he will push. Doesn't matter. Now don't play passively. Knight c6 will come. This is bad. You will play knight c6. No, knight c6 is not coming. But the position I can easily defend the pawn. But it is passive. So more aggressive. e5 pawn. Actually, I am just controlling the center. I am putting pressure, watching c5 because I expect. Suppose after castle a move like f3 will come, then there is problems. So queen c7 puts pressure on e5. Notice that a player should avoid in opening stage to win material giving counterplay. It is possible. It is not that it is not possible, but it gives counterplay. And now f3 is a threat, knight b6 is a threat. So keep developing. Now there is a real threat. Knight into pawn is a real threat. e5. So you play support. I want to go after the bishop. And if you take, it doesn't help. There is a problem now. The point is now if you take knight into knight, this will not solve because the threat remains. And there is no danger to black king that he can open line, bring the rook, bring the queen and attack too slow. The center point is weak, the threat is ready-made coming. So it is just white is in a very bad shape now. So it's not a good idea to exchange. After the move, he tried pawn into. Now he played rook with the idea I want to bring queen to f3 or some attacking chances or g5 queen check etc. With the idea you take, then I give a bishop check and open the game. It is winning. Now white is having black has got material, but you should not try to retreat and play passively. You must now he is giving the extra material, but completely damaging the castle position and the pawn structure. Knight, you have to take it. Again you have to move. Now there is no point. Just disappear, and I don't see any progress in white's initiative. First you move, and now castle. The point is now here, the black king is also a little bit exposed, but white pieces are not coming there. You cannot move the bishop supporting also. Now bishop does not move. You need to support it. And if you come here, I will play even rook into. No, I can play rook into also. That is leading to mate. Here, I don't need to worry. Oh no 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 no. The queen is watching. So I thought I will give check and checkmate. In this case, just a knight check. And I win the game. Right? Next move rook into. If the check was available, I would here in this position I would take rook into and back rank, but the queen is watching. So this is lost position. So what is wrong? You see, The point is, I give these are the mistakes. These are the mistakes. G4. A player should not do all these things in the opening stage. In my opinion, a move like a normal move like B A3 is a good move here, so that no B4 is coming. It's a safe move. It's not easy. We need to here play A3. Stopping this. Now you play some move like bishop B7. Now maybe I can play here something like F3 is okay, castle is okay. This position is white is good, nothing wrong. But this sort of rash moves, it is bad. And after B4, I think this is all problem. Center is gone. We need to recognize good moves, bad moves, rash moves, premature attack. Here, okay, this is quite justified. White is not playing the Yugoslav attack, so dragon is a good response. This is. I want you to think what should black do. I don't see this setup is dangerous. Black has absolute no problem in this. And white's plan is very clear. White wants to castle and then you play some g4, h4, h5 and then take the pawn and exchange the bishop and attack the king. So white is waiting for black to castle and then he will do. So it is not a good idea to castle because you become static. Now the king is dynamic. After you castle, it becomes bad. This is bad. The king becomes an easy target. White has various plans. White can try to exchange that after preparation. White will play ND5 and after ND5, ED5, a backward pawn will come. White can play positional. White can go for attack H4, H5. Straight H4, you play H5. So it is a mistake to make a commitment, natural. So what you should do now, the correct move is knight. Now this is ruled out. I will take and play knight into. And knight into is a bad move. You know, white should not exchange unnecessarily, strengthening black center. Now if you take, the black center is better. Black has a better center. And also, I mean, now I can castle. You white will not have a knight for attack. You know, with the knight in center, there is always attacking chances. The knight jumps here and f4, knight f3. But without the knight, it is very difficult. So the correct move is knight c6. A bad, not a bad move, not not correct. But he wants to play h5 and then open the position. So this is now already turned out badly. Castle. White has a ready-made plan. f3, g4 is coming, and then I will open up by force. g4. And this is another passive. Now h5. I just want to open. I don't care for material. Now this is lost. I think it is very bad position. You see, in the span of 4-5 moves, everything changed. So please note, you need to know the intention of opponent. Is this bishop g5? You need to just play here bishop g. Of course, this you should not allow after the move. You should play knight c6. This is so many good moves. Not only knight c6, you have many moves here. For example, I just showed you knight c6 is good move. What other moves you can do? Let's see. Let us say we can make a move like h6. This is also good move. Now you have to come here. If you want to maintain the trust, you come back, you get nothing again. So you come here. Okay. Now knight c6 plan already I have told you. Now you play ND7. Now let us say you castle. Now you play g5. You come here. Now you can play maybe here queen c7. No, queen c7 is okay. Queen c7. With the idea I don't want to allow. and I want to prepare for b5. Immediate b5 is bad because of knight c6 is coming, knight f5. So I don't. I want to make sure this is also okay. Now you say this is bad because of e5 is coming, knight comes and so I think this is okay. This is okay. This should be okay. So many moves, but not castle. So I leave this game. Go to the next one. You know, Bobby Fischer was a terrific player. From the beginning of chess history till today, no other player had so much devotion. All his time, he was trying to improve his knowledge, understanding, and feeling about the game, finding always working for new variations, new ideas in opening. So, what was his secret? He was able to find a good move in any position. Of course, in this aspect, I would say Tal, Spassky, they were also great. But Fischer's hard work, he was going for each and every game available and he was going through that and keeping his in his memory about the new ideas and the developments. So I want you to find good moves in any position. Then you become very strong. Not necessarily always the best move, just a good move. So let us see the game. Grandmaster Kuprichik. Now Bishop B5. So Castle B5, B7. Idea. Now I want to take knight E4, so stops that. Now white is threatening bishop into C6. So and winning the pawn. So he comes. So this is all standard. Everything is standard. Now the majority main line goes to like knight on C3, and after that castle and white plays H3. Immediate D4 would allow the bishop G4. No immediate D4. This is good. Capablanca variation. So the normally plays to H3 castle. No. Castle. Then here this is C3 castle and H3. This is preparing for D4. Is the this is the line. This is the line. I want to play next move D4. Main line of Shigori. But in the given game, instead of playing the move C3, the A4 is possible. It's not a bad move, it's a good move. In fact, black must play very carefully. So I told you, you need to find good moves at any stage of the game. Whether it is opening, middle game, end game. That means your total focus must be on the diagram. You need to study the special features, the tactical features, the strategical things, and small triples also. You need to notice the threat all the time. Find a good move. I am giving you time. चलो मैं आपको अभी 3 मिनट देता हूँ. Good move. Find a good move. मेरा थ्रेट है ये पॉन टेक्स पान मार देगा आप नहीं मार सकते. You can't take it because of the tick move. So you better be careful. I am giving a threat now. My threat is to take the pawn. So you watch out. What to do now? You have got maybe one, two, three. You have got three possibilities. Three possibilities. What to do? So, what is the answer? Let me check. Check. Daya Agarwal, BB7. All right. Sayam Mehra, RB8. Ars Mehra has written RB8. Now the point is you have three type of answer. You can play BB7 giving a support to the rook. You can play bishop G4 so that rook is supported or rook B8. Actually, given this is bad. You know why this is bad? The bishop remains passive. Bishop role is not good here. For example, I now this point you are focusing on this point. So after the move D3, bishop will have little role to play. So the bishop remains passive for a long time, not in action. It is possible to play rook b8, but in the position after pawn into pawn, white has the file. So this will give an advantage to white. Something. White has achieved something. So I would rather say bishop g4 is the best because I am now fighting for the square also. The bishop is pinning the knight and rook is controlled. I mean supported. So this is the best move. The second best move is rook b8. This is the best move. Second best. You know, once I played rook b8, very funny. I lost a piece because of careless play. I was black. White was a strong player, a national player. So white played pawn takes pawn, and white played now c3. So black castle, and now white played d4, and black played bishop. I played this, and the piece is flat. Would you believe? Would you believe? In the some national open tournament at Pune, it was a very strong open. Maybe about 300 players at that time in open tournament was a very big thing. Some 80s, 1980s. So I lost the piece. But the good news is that I won the game. Yes. The point is, in the same tournament, I landed a piece in 6-7 move with Sri Bhaiskar Sahib, very veteran, old player, great player. So I landed a piece 6-7 and won the game. And again in the same tournament, I won this game. So this is just some kind of luck, but a player has to notice this kind of feature. The piece got trapped. I won the game anyway, luckily. So here, the correct move here is bishop to g4. Active move. Player should play actively. Alright. So in the game, this happened BB7. Knight a5. Now, so it took. So d5. Now these are bad moves. Basically, now why this is bad, you need to know. Why this is bad? What should you do now? Player wins because he opponent has some weak points or you have some that kind of advantage. What is the weak point of opponent here? There are two weak points. One, the bishop remains passive. Number two, the knight is not in a nice place because the pawn is watching the square and his own pawn is blocking. So he comes. And if you take pawn into pawn, it is bad. After bishop takes pawn, white is clearly better. After pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn. So nd7. Then maybe I can play here queen b3 or this is a good position already. Already good position. How I can handle this? This is already, you see, the rook is ready to come for attack on the third rank after you castle. The pieces are passive, which is not good. The knight is unprotected. So it is the bishop is poorly placed. White has an advantage. So he should not take the pawn. And in the game, he played a castle. I want you to think what should white do now. 2 minutes I am giving you. Please write your answer. I want to see. Daya Agrawal NC3, Suvankar Sarkar BB3. BB3 I have already played. Already played. No, you are not finding answer right now. A strong player will find a good move in any position. I don't want you that always to find the best thing. Just a good move. You need to spot the weak point. The weak point is the knight. This is also weak, but this is a easy target. Easy target for me. After a5, the knight is trapped. Nowhere to go. Nowhere. So queen comes here. Idea, he wants to bring the rook or this rook and then play knight. It is lost now because after b3, any piece is lost. You will lose. Now you cannot support any queen move. Then you will come queen d2 and one piece is gone. So these are the defect in such variation that a piece is having no mobility. The bishop is just spectator. So in the opening itself, this line a4, it is a good line. Normally you will see many Geller has played many games in this variation and got good result. Gary Kasparov, while annotating the game, he wrote in humble words that Geller taught me to play this variation. A legendary world champion is writing a tribute to the good grandmaster. Geller taught me how to play a4 against the Royal Open. Great. So a4 is an interesting move. A player should really work on it, and that you can help you avoiding many theoretical discussion and just get a good game. So the best answer I would say bishop is more active and intending to pressure on center right away. Okay. For example, let us say you take now rook into queen into, and now maybe here what you can do. So now I think this is whatever you do. Maybe your pressure, you know, because the queen and the knight are watching this indirectly. If you play, this is very slow here, and if you play c3, stopping d4, maybe you can play what you can do here. Castle now h3, because if you play d4, it is not good, and now h3. Maybe you need not take this also. You can come here to put pressure. This is good position. So I would recommend that you play bg4 with a more active play. Okay, next game. So no, I have not shown the game. I have not shown this game. Oh yeah, this is how it lost After b3, lost the play. Not so great here. Classical main line. The secret of the position, strategic point that white should hang on to the square. You should not capture the pawn and just replace. You capture another place, you'll replace. So this is a good one. Now, now if the point is if you play other moves, that I will play queen d2 and long castle with a good position. If white is allowed queen d2 long castle, then d4 square is covered 4 times. So there is no problem. So he comes here directly, attacking b2. So knight a4, c3. The point is early one game between Timman and Korchnoi. Also, I think Anand and Dri in the match 1991. The peace swap was discussed, which is white is better. White stands better. For example, now uh, black can play here pawn into pawn, and white can play the move b4, and the piece sack will come. So here knight into pawn, pawn into bishop check. So this kind of things, this is not so good. That it's proved out that white is better. The knight will come to block b3 square, and the extra piece is white stands better. So here in the game, he plays bishop to e7, knight into, and white found a very simple plan b4. Of course, bishop into pawn is a blunder. A b4 will come. So here he plays b4, and now the very simple way, queen. The end game is, after the exchange of queen, the position is just bad. The queen side pawn roller is coming. So it is just plus minus. Black cannot solve all the problem. This is bad. Already he is in a mess. So just bishop b5 is pawn into pawn. b5 wins material. Now knight into knight is bad. Knight into knight is bad on account of rook into pawn. This is just winning the game. After rook b8, rook in, you can take or just your pieces and pawns on queen side are very strong. The check is coming now. So this plan is very easy. I want to show you some more positions and plans. So advanced variation is not dangerous for the French players. Means black can get sufficient counterplay on the d4 point and the c file open and the f6 break. So black has little to fear about the advanced variation against the French. The other move is be3. I feel that is white is plus equal because this is the focus point d4. So giving an extra support on queen b6. We have queen d2. Now black will prepare. I'm sorry, excuse me. Now in this position, you can play knight f3 and knight f5 can be met with bishop d. The point is that this is no problem because at the end there is a check. You cannot take the pawn. pawn into, and you play knight into, sorry, knight into, or bishop into, whatever it is. Bishop into, knight into, queen into loses to check. And if you play here, bishop d7 now, if you play bd7, I will take bishop into knight. White gets a good game. Just castle. Now you come here, the knight will come. This is the only problem now. So I just bring the knight here, and then you play some bishop move, knight here, and knight is coming to the game. You can't take the pawn. The queen is trapped. After rook b1, queen will get trapped. So white is good here. The central superiority. The pawn structure is better. The center is better. White's prospects are better. How you can play? Maybe you can play, prepare to play 3 b4, and then try to exchange the opponent's good bishop. So these are the plan available, and white positionally stands better. Pritchett line. Other line is also good. The line with nf3 is also good. Knight f3. This is also good line. White stands little better. It is not a good idea you take, because actually you can take it. The black's idea to get double bishop and the g5. And black's idea, he will have bishop pair, the g file, and some targets in black camp, white camp. This position acceptable. If you black has to play, it is better. Suppose black wants to play the line, it is better to play queen b6 first. And now after b2, and now knight h6. This makes some sense because the queen is already watching this point. Now bishop into knight, now pawn into. This is a bad move to take, because he can come back, and the queen will remain trapped. Sorry, what I did I do? Bishop will come back. And now after this move, the queen remains trapped. Or here, whatever. So it is not a good idea, but you can just take pawn into. And now the pressure, as I told you, there is pressure here, there is pressure here, and the two bishops and the g5. So black has compensation. Not so bad. But in any case, in the game, he played the bad move knight h6 directly. So b3. So take, and white stands better. There is no more pressure on b2. After queen b6, he can play queen d2 and bd7. Knight c3 is good for white. I mean, after the move bd7, preparing so that there is no checks when you capture d4 twice. This is just good enough. Good enough. The center is controlled. Well, this is just winning a pawn, but it is bad because f7 weakness. I told yesterday only. While a player is calculating winning pawn or defending a pawn or position, he forgets about the king position. You should never forget, never weaken the king for sake of any other positional thing. So here, this is just terrible. Now only move. You cannot return queen. Queen comes and b5 will kill him. So only move. Now there is a threat, knight into b5. I want to take and the pressure, and I will deflect this way first. So comes here. Now this is winning. Deflect. Takes. Finish. Finito. Party finish. You will not be able to defend long time. After the move bishop e7, which is forced rather, I bring again pressure. Now if you do like this, now how I am going to finish here? I can sweep because already there is you have got this double pawns are bad, so it is like actually one pawn. So I have got 6 versus 4 pawn, practically 2 pawn up, and there are weak pawns. I can sweep the king in center. So I would say white stands better here. Black rank has to be cleared. Now the retreat of bishop c5 or bishop e7. Bishop c5 b4 can come. It's complicated. So the idea of black is to drive the knight and then get a good center. And the knight into bishop is harmless. You are making some three moves. So white is playing good with the idea I want to take and play d5. So in my opinion, this position white stands little better. But you need to handle. As I told you, you need to find good moves all the time. So what is a good move? First of all, ये intruder है. This is the intruder in my camp. तो पहला इसको भगाओ, खदड़ उसको खदड़ देना है. So what we should do? We should exchange the knight for our knight, but not at this point. Not at this point. So we can play b3. We can play knight e2 then. So we played knight e2. Otherwise, the knight remains rock solid with two supports. So and pass. So I think, in my opinion, here on this. So it was better to play knight to c, knight e, not this bishop e3 here. Now here take, and now not this bishop e3. It was better you play knight to this c3. White stands better. Knight has a strong point, so also white has a strong point here, and the grip on center. Black has a backward pawn. So I think positionally white looks better for me as white. So after the move I will play b2 and castle. But in the game he played differently. Passive position. Now black has attacking chances. White pieces have become passive. With a strong knight which is supported by another one, because you come and eliminate it doesn't work, and the rook is coming here. The queen is coming here. And the bishop is waiting to sacrifice. So the position is very dangerous. And the knight is away from center. A player should not get into this kind of passive position. Bishops have no diagonal, and so it is important that we should avoid passive positions. Where is the mistake? I would say opening only. Okay, white side I will do. Opening only. This is okay. Where is the mistake here? This I would play. I would, if I am white, I would like to play here g3. My plan is to castle quickly. I take control. Now you play c6. I am not obliged to take it. I can take it also. So you will play knight into, and now bishop g2. And if you play this, maybe I can take, and I can play d4. So this will give me an easy game. F4 square is available, and if you take it, it is a sort of reverse Karokan. I am going to get this pawn sooner or later, and then I have castled, and the knight is not in center. So or if you push here, suppose you push here, this is also not great. Now in this case, what I can do? I don't want to play e3 knight e2. I will rather play knight s2. And now you castle. After you play nc6, I can play knight here. This is a good position. So I think this position is good. Okay. Maybe here, what I can do here, I can do f3 straight away. This is good. Queen b6. The opening the position is okay. So this is possible that white should have played fianchetto first, and also you are not obliged to take also. So this is important. This is where he should have played. But what he did here, D4, neglecting development, and this is also another move. Why you have to do this? Why not knight here? Why not knight here now? Now you come here. Maybe still there is no defect, no problem in the position. So maybe I will play here. This is possible. This is possible for to play. White is okay here. Don't take that knight into position. So let me show you one more game discussion. So white plays straightforward. This is a bad move. This is bad. You need to attack the center with d5. And if you want to play g6, then why e6? Direct g6 is a bad move. So straightforward. You can't allow. All other moves are bad. f6 is ugly. White stands better. He cannot develop the knight to e7. This is bad. Bishop coming to g7, f6, bishop e7. What is this? So it is a disaster. A player should not sure what he wants. First he decided to play French. Then he says, no, I don't want theory. So if you want to play, you play better this move directly. This is fully playable. I think fully playable. Now you can play c3. You have c6 is a good move. d6 is a good move. So you don't have to play e6. Strategically unsound. After e6, g6, they are strategically unsound. So let me take you to a game from a great attacking player. This is called Tata cover Korchnoi variation. The point of black that pawn is controlling, so knight cannot come, and he is more developed, more open line, and no attack will come. This is the idea. But here's white has queen side majority. I want to make a weakness. Basically, the king is okay here because knight can always cover the king. I want to move like g6 so that h4 h5 will come. I want a tactical target. So here he plays check. Now g6. If you play h6, the white diagonal remains open. Anyway, the g4 break can come. Bishop come to just castle quickly on queen side and start. So he made this move, making it ready attack. Otherwise, capture 2-3 times. Take bishop sack and mate. So just want to give bishop sack. Of course, the threat of pawn takes pawn, but don't you think it's pretty? Don't you think it is pretty mate? Attacking the rook. So next again, giving a threat of bishop f6. This is bad. Notice that you need to be very careful about this immediate move because a check is there. There is a bishop check can come, bishop can come. So queen is watching the square indirectly. So take this. Divert the queen from the f6 point. तो अभी वो समझा नहीं मार सकता है. Already pawn up. It's a bad position. I want you to find the finish. अभी मुझे finish बताओ. Bishop into pawn. Idea मारेगा तो queen जाएगा. All this thing, chess crimes. These are all crimes in chess. After e6, now c3, he can play. This position is okay. Now this is possible to give a queen check also. It is possible. So this position is okay. This is not good. One more game I want to show you. Sax Donner. This is main position. What is that called? Alvin Chartered attack. So ignore. This is bad. You should accept the gambit or some play a6 and preparing to play some c5 break. It's bad. You know, there is no pressure. You are giving white a free hand by making the move. यहाँ पर ये जो आपका है ये once and for all you leave that. यहाँ पे प्रेशर डालना है आपको. ये नाइट पॉन स्ट्रांग है. So you need to break at this point c5 and f6. So he loses all this, gives up once and for all. But now it will not close. A g4 break will come. Takes. Now ignore the knight. Go for attack. The king is the target now. Pawn into e7 is a serious threat. Mate. Bishop check. Discover checkmate. Bishop h7 and mate. Sack. It's all over. Now you cannot take because the knight c7 will later win a piece. And if you do not do, this is anyway winning. Because I have won the pawn. King side is terrible. All I need the rook to join. White rook is ready after knight f3 or knight s3 or rook h2 or h3, it is winning. I ignore all the threat. Rook is coming. Very well played. Very well played. The point is, if queen is taken, the bishop capture rook allows a back rank. The point is, okay, I am giving a threat. I am giving a threat. Once the queen is deflected from the area, I want to take, when you take, the queen check and rook will join with a check. Party finish. And he did not wait and resign. Check. Only move. Check. No worth seeing the game. So thank you very much, friends, being with me. I will be back at 2:30. But what I observed, I think you guys are not doing so good in knight and pawn endgame. So I will give more basics on knight pawn endgame. I will next tomorrow also practical endgames and basic endgames. So a few days I will do knight and pawn endgame. So सबको मेरा नमस्कार. Take care. Bye.